Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic. You are teleported back to 2001 Terminator style, butt ass naked, and end up in the middle of Times Square. What do you do or say to convince people you're not a stoned homeless person? Removed. I was thinking this. Probably the best way to explain, avoid people and get out of there to find some clothes. People try to avoid homeless people, and I want them to avoid me if I'm naked. Edit because top comment was vandalized and removed. I agreed it was probably for the best that people thought I was a high homeless person. Sure, but you're in the middle of Times Square. Avoiding people there is like finding someone if you were teleported to the middle of Antarctica. Plus there's cops all over the place. They'll be on you within a minute or two. Did they just see me come out of a ball of electricity? It'll need no explanation. This is what I thought too. Apparently you wouldn't have thought it in 2001 though. What's the date? I feel the city might be a little preoccupied. Either preoccupied with being cool and free and doing finger guns and enjoying life. Or well, you know. What? A naked guy? Sorry, I didn't notice. I was too busy looking forward to boarding my flight later today without being groped by strangers and having to take my shoes off. I would start with your clothes. Give them to me now. I would have gone with wash day, nothing clean. I had to steal something from Ari. 2001 Times Square. I doubt anyone would care or notice. Depends on if this happens before or after September the 11th, 2001. Tell everybody the terrorists' attacks are about to happen. And also be sure to say come with me if you want to live. Like with the blue ball that appears, then pretty sure they would believe me, right? Edit, with blue ball I do not refer to blue testicles, I mean the sphere from which the Terminator comes out because of the time machine. Please people understand that. Everyone is focused on the clothing part, and not how dramatic the Terminator entrance is. Imagine your blue plasma ball takes some kid's leg off. Now you're a confused magical naked stoned homeless guy with an arrest warrant. Just say I got mugged. Edit, wow, did not expect this to blow up. Thank you kind strangers for the awards. Help, that stoned homeless person took my clothes. He took my clothes, my boots and my motorcycle. You guys are all right. Don't go to work on September the 11th. Didn't people warn about 9/11s but no one listened? Maybe they were time travelers. I'd like to hear more. I'd probably just cry. Then look in the mirror and cry some more. So an average Thursday then. Nothing. It's New York. Just start walking casually and walk like you know exactly where you are going and have something to do. The majority of people are not going to want to interact with you anyway. When the police come up, walk right up to them, and ask for some clothes and some help. Explain it away as a sex thing that went badly, i.e., was with a prostitute in a van, they took off with your clothes. Caveat, if it happens to be on or just after a particular day in September, you're probably not going to be the most interesting thing to happen that day. End communication. Yup. I was in Times Square a few years ago and I am pretty sure I actually did see a naked or nearly naked man walking down the street. Also saw someone dressed like a horse in Central Park. You know how many people said anything to either person? No one. Not a soul said a word. I've never been there, but Times Square seems like a very magical place. Seriously. And then go buy as much Bitcoin as you can. Bitcoin release, 2009. You might need to wait a bit. Joke's on you. I am a stoned homeless person. You probably can't afford teleportation then. We ain't going to test it on someone that matters. Stand outside of the TRL window. This needs more upvotes. Carson. Hey Carson. Look at my package Carson. I'd go with hey, Carson. Look at my Johnny. I'd emulate old Biff and try to predict something that I knew would be coming up. They'd at least figure that I was either a time traveler or a psychic. Or you're in Guantanamo. Well, if we're talking post 9/11s, then that would be the default ending. You say, shit. That must have been a seriously good party. Everyone laughs and you go on to make serious moves on Bitcoin. I think 2001 you can even make goodbyes on Google and Amazon as well. You mean that online bookstore? That will never take off. And with Ask Jeeves, why would I use Google? This is 8 years before Bitcoin, but you could try Apple shares in the interim. I'd call 2001 me to wire me some money, then get back home to talk about the next 20 years. I'd been expecting that call, so it wouldn't have been a stretch. Depending on your age, contact yourself and get a copy of your ID/SS card. I'd have been 23 in March 2001, don't give them too much info but enough to verify your future version of them/you. Live separate but connected parallel lives using your knowledge to augment your current timeline's persona. I'd just pick up a guitar. Beat me to it. Anyways, here's Wonderwall. Shout woo, spring break. You won't believe the night I've just had. Spare some underwear. I'm not a stoned homeless person. Then I find my way to a shelter, get some clothes and food like a stoned homeless person, and try to remember my phone number from 20 years ago. My buddy and I actually have a protocol and code phrase for this sort of thing, so once I make contact with him and myself, I should be in pretty good shape. Sure, it'll mean an extra mouth to feed, and problems with identity, but with my knowledge of the future, things will go a lot better the second time around. I'll know not to watch Tenet, for one thing. I'm really curious about your protocol. When did you make it? What's in it? Laties. Basically it consists of a code phrase that we can use to immediately convince the other that we are who we say we are, and we need the help we're asking for. Say an evil government transfers my consciousness to a robot. I show up on your doorstep looking for help. What can I say to convince you that I'm me? Code phrase. Same protocol works for time travel and a few other implausible scenarios. Kill someone and steal their leather jacket. Kill someone and steal their leather jacket. And boots, and motorcycle. But nothing else. Leather jacket, biker boots, dick flapping in the wind, as you hunt down Sarah Connor. As a chick I'm pretty sure I could say I was drugged and abandoned or something. I could easily pull that card. The problem would be if the police started trying to investigate what happened and you had no story to hack you up. I was at a bar. I don't remember anything. Honestly, the NYPD has never given much of a shit, so once it was clear there were no easy leads they'd probably give you some hospital scrubs and the number of a police officer who'll never answer the phone, and you'd be on your way. I wouldn't. A stoned homeless person is likely to end up in rehab or detox, which is infinitely preferable to jail or a mental institution in such a situation. Ergo, if cops think I'm just homeless and stoned out of my mind, I will encourage them to keep believing it. Say something really smart like, you have fingertips but not toe tips, yet you can tiptoe but you can't tip finger. But I thought we did have toe tips, you know, the phrase, from the top of my head to the tip of my toes. I'd want them to believe I'm a stoned homeless person so they would leave me alone. I think the giant ball of reality bending, asphalt melting energy would do that for me. Quick, look over there. Drop smoke bomb. Well, I'd run as fast as I can to a laundromat and steal clothes there. I'd predict 9/11s, but there'd be nothing I could do to stop it. I guess considering this is when the towers were still there, I could do some pre-emotive investigating and see which conspiracy theory has merit. 'Cause it's definitely one of them. Then I would go to Australia and tell Steve Irwin to protect his heart if he goes near a stingray. Then probably just go get tickets to a Linkin Park concert. I always wanted to see them before Chester killed himself. I'd say Alice in Chains too, but that would have been very soon before Lay Staley died of a heroin overdose, so that probably would have been sad too. The Steve Irwin comment really hits home. Miss him a lot. I know I'm not the DM or anything, but as someone with an intimate knowledge of Times Square in 2001. You're not finding a laundromat, or making it to the nearest one without getting stopped by the cops way before you get to it. I dunno, I haven't been there since my grandma who lived in NYC died 15 years ago. Oh shit, that's right. I'd just call my grandma who was still alive then. I'm not going to lie. If put in this situation I wouldn't bother with trying to stop 9/11s. Before my departure I'd look up past winning Powerball numbers, beg for $2, and then go find myself. Also, I'd warn me about Kelly got 9 years early. Bitch. Yeah, I don't even think you can stop 9/11s at least partially without ruining your life. I guess it depends how selfish you are and if you believe stopping 9/11s would create a better world for the future. While my life would be over and everything I know and love would be gone, I could potentially save millions of lives, and I do think America and the world would be exponentially better had 9/11s not happened. So it would be worth trying to stop. I'd just steal the naked cowboy's hat and start taking pics with people for $. After about 20 minutes, when I have at least $600, I wander over to Fifth Ave and buy some nice threads. I then head to whatever club is coolest and start assembling a posse of badasses to stop 9/11s. What's your selection criteria for selecting your badasses? Reliable transportation. Ability to work nights and weekends. Must pass a criminal background check.